Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. TSM here. Okay, so we're on take 2 of the tier 12.5 skirmish strategy guide. Yeah, it's the rerun of the VXP weekend, okay, and Kickstarter acknowledged that there was an issue with the countermeasures. So now we're actually going to go through what we believe could be the build moving forward for the January raid. So let's take a look at the strategy guide and remind ourselves of the holes that we'll be facing and then what might counter them, okay? First and foremost then, let's have a look at the Pango. We know that obviously it has quite an unusual set of defences of its own. So it's got these mines that go around the outside in a clockwise direction, okay, and they actually perform a slow field if you run into them. If you kill the ship, they also all explode, okay, and so keep away from them at the same time. If you get too close as well, you'll notice then that actually there has depth charges, and these depth charges come out in sort of like a radial arc, okay, and they are like red projectiles, and basically if you get inside that red ring, you'll notice then that you'll be taking damage, okay. The damage itself then, it's medium, okay, and it says it's concussive. I know it's a depth charge, but you shouldn't take any damage from those, okay. Please do note then they also cannot be countermeasured, all right, so let's not worry about countermeasures for that hull. Okay, and actually you can kill that hull off without taking damage. So let's move down to the next one. Next one's the Gambit, okay, and so long as you aren't seen, as in your ships aren't either in a thermal field, okay, and or they're actually hitting a cav ring, so which means they've come above the surface, this ship will not see you, okay. Now, it does have Gatling guns, and bizarrely, okay, this ship here will fire and chase you. It's not very fast, okay, but it only does that if you're close to it and you're on the surface. So the best thing to do is to kill everything else around it, okay, and then actually go and attack this ship, and you won't take any damage whatsoever because it can't see you. So let's ignore that hull completely. Next then, we've got the Rhino itself then, okay, and the Rhino, this actually fires explosive rockets at you. All right then, and we know that sprints work for those. The good thing is the Rhino doesn't fire to the rear, and so far in the VXP target, you can sneak up behind this ship and take it out because you slightly outrange, okay, then the area that this thing can actually be affected by the cav rings. So you've got a better range of what they have. Okay, so yes, you can say sprints would work, okay, but I wouldn't fit them for this fleet. Let's move down then. Here we have, obviously, it's our Mutineer, okay, and it's a sub-hunter, okay, it doesn't really hunt as such, obviously, it actually just has a path that's fixed, okay, and it travels up and down, and obviously get inside this thermal range, okay, it's not a cav range, it's a thermal range, and then it will also obviously start targeting you with mortars. So this ship is supposed to have, okay, high damage, okay, then, and medium splash as well. It does say it's countered, obviously, anti-explosive, okay, so notice that, anti-explosive only. Doesn't say anti-mortar, it's anti-explosive. So just bear that in mind, okay. And that's about it. So that's all the ships, okay, and so obviously the Mutineer is a concern. So here we have the Spectres, okay, and the Spectres are our biggest concern, and obviously the only thing that's going to work against these really is the Cormorant. They are king killer, so they will attack the highest ship with the highest armor points, basically. All right, then, at the moment, all our ships are even across the fleet. Okay, we don't know what the armor points of the flagship will be, so at the moment you could go for a high evade flagship build, but ultimately we haven't seen that hull yet, and we don't know what its armor points are, okay? But just bear in mind, these Cormorants, okay, then are going to take down the torpedoes coming towards you, okay, and it's a king killer effect, okay, and so they will hit the ship with the highest health bar. How many Cormorants? I recommend probably 10 or 12 Cormorants. That's 3 ships with 4 on each, ideally, okay. Like I said, if you're going to go for a king killer defense, okay, then you probably want to be high evade, okay, so that's going to be evade crew. It's also going to be evade if you're in an alliance as well, so make sure that bonus is up as well, and you want to be up in the 90%, okay, or above, and also then you want to maybe have some evade armor on as well. So that's it. Let's have a look at our countermeasures then. I've got some builds I've had a look at. So first and foremost then, here's a generic one. Okay, so this is one. I haven't got everything that I need at the moment because I'm short a few things, okay. Now I've waited for a little while, okay, to make a decision on what to do with this hull. I think personally, yes, that's going to be another torpedo on there because I don't have much of a choice, but I don't have it as yet, so that'll turn this red. And then the decision on this special here. Now, you've got 2 options with the Cormorants. they're not bad. The projectile speed's 550. Okay, but interesting, look at U3, you get another 25%. So you have options here. Bear in mind, this is obviously, you know, not as powerful as if you do an all torpedo build, okay, which I am going to do some, by the way. So you have options then for your final special then, and there isn't much in the limited roles, but you can go two things. The hyperscan system, okay, giving the best chance for critical hits, 40%, and then 200% damage on top of that. So that would help your torpedoes out. Or the other option you could go for, if you want your cormorants to hit better, okay, you could go down to here, and actually you could put high velocity rounds on, because that gives you projectile speed of 110%. So then straight away then, if you take a look then, you'll notice then that basically your projectile speed is going to go up considerably compared to, there it is there, like 110%. Okay then, and then you're going to get another bonus on top of that again when you get to U3. So it is an option. I'm not saying you have to do it, but it'll definitely help. Okay, the faster those cormorants get to those targets, okay, the more chance those cormorants of reloading and going again. Bear in mind, cormorants just keep going until they take down the incoming torpedo. Okay, unless the torpedo gets all the way through. So either you've got two options there. You've got evade, okay, so that torpedo to evade, or you've got the cormorant to try and take it down before it gets to you. So those are options. Like I say, it's either high velocity rounds if you think that's worthy for you, okay, and if it's not high velocity rounds, then obviously get your torpedoes obviously to have a chance having critical hits, okay. The good thing about those then is you know, you have critical chance at U2, okay, and also you have an evade bonus at U2 as well. Okay, so there's a 15% obviously critical chance on top of that again, okay, and there's also an evade bonus of 10%. So those are options anyway. So that's that hull there. Let's have a look what else we've got. We're going to go and test this, okay? We're going to go and test this one as well. And this is the one with the Gale 4s on it, just to see if they actually do fire, okay, then. They may or may not fire. I'm not 100% sure. Bear in mind, oops, there we go then. This is the one we're trying to see if basically get inside this thermal ring, because it's not a cav ring. I don't think this is going to make any difference whatsoever. Why? Because thermal detection, it doesn't necessarily make you come to the surface, okay? Whilst they call it, you know, they don't class it as a thermal ring, but we do. It doesn't bring you to the surface, okay? And so these shouldn't fire underwater. However, okay, what you can have is these ones here. So these are the deep sea countermeasures as well. You can have a little play with these. Now at the moment, this one, because I wasn't sure what was going on here, was actually hyperscan system. Now, the thing about these though is these say anti-mortar and anti-missile. Bear in mind, it said here then countermeasure vulnerability anti-explosive. So we're going to trial that, okay, and just see if it fires. So we're going to send this one in and we're going to send the Gale in. If the Gales don't fire, okay then, which doesn't surprise me, then there's no point fitting them, okay. And then if obviously the deep seas don't fire either, then that's it, no anti-explosive whatsoever, okay. Bear in mind, these counter mortars as well. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we're inside the level 50 target. That's the VXP target now. Okay, then just a reminder, this is what it looks like. There you go. Out go the cav mines, okay, then, which produce concussive damage, okay. And there, obviously, look, you see the little rockets coming out. If I zoom in, you'll see it a bit better. Okay, and when it stops firing, it'll show you the size of the ring. Okay, there it is there. Okay, so that's the range that's there. But you could nip in between these and take that one out. First and foremost, then, we want to take a look at this. Now, I'm going to take damage, but the reason I'm going to take damage, I want to see if either of these ships do fire at this incoming hull. Don't chase it, by the way. When it does come to killing the targets off, let this thing come towards you. Right, while we're waiting, we may as well I'll show you how you can kill off one of these. We want to wait till he comes back down again. So you can cut back in here, look. And you can just follow these mines around. Try and stay central, because when you'll notice that when they blow up in a second, they have their own rings. There you go, look. One there and one there. Okay, so like I said, I don't think we need any countermeasures of that hull whatsoever. Here it comes, look. Right, so first and foremost, we're going to find the one that has, okay, that's got cormorants. There's the deep sea countermeasure, okay. Let's zoom in. So we're just going to go into the arc, okay, and we're just going to try and scribe and see if we can see anything firing apart from the torpedoes. So we're going to go at an angle. Okay, so nothing is firing at all apart from the torpedoes. Do you notice it's not come up to the surface then? So it's a thermal range, okay then, and it is not, okay then, like a cav ring. So I'm still under the water. Bear in mind, this deep sea countermeasure, as ever, it fires an incoming explosive even when submerged, but it didn't then, okay? So it, remember, it only works on mortars, okay then, and this is anti-explosive for this ship. So I know it sounds the same, but it isn't. It just isn't, okay? It's like anti-penetrative and anti-missile. They're two different things. Right, we'll do the same thing, okay, then we'll go for the Gale system. Just to prove the fact, okay? I think it's pretty obvious now what the answer is going to be. We'll pause here. Okay, moving forward then, the ship's still staying under the water, look, and nothing's firing. So there's your answer. There is no point having any antis, okay, for any type of explosive. So that was worth working out then. One thing I will do, we'll go outside and we'll just show the amount of damage. You saw quite a few volleys coming off then, okay. And in all honesty, okay, I don't think it was a huge amount of damage. Bear in mind, these are only at U1. I think they're all at U1. Yes, they are. And we're going to be getting up to U3, ideally, for this event, which is going to help a lot. Okay, so we're back in dock. Here are the two holes then. 4 minutes, 15 seconds. Okay, and let's take a look at that. So 2 minutes, 12. Okay, then, versus... and 2 minutes, 3 seconds. Okay, bear in mind, these are U1 holes and not U3 holes. It's a few seconds. You know, I think you're probably going to take more damage probably from the incoming concussive torpedoes than you are from those explosive holes. It's up to you. That was me going in and going back out, okay, then, of that hull's thermal range. So, you know, ultimately, so 2 minutes and 3 seconds, 2 minutes and 12 seconds. A few seconds difference. By the time you get to U3, it's your decision. I think I'm going to go all concussive, personally. Okay, so the fleet is now fixed, okay, and you can see the ones here with the cormorants on, so that's the first one and that's the second one. Okay, like I said, you know, on the refit there, I wasn't really sure on the final special, but I think the ones with the cormorants on, I'm probably going to go for the hyperscan system. I'm pretty sure I will be doing this, okay, and then adding the last torpedo once I get it, okay. There's a TLC coming and also got pillaged, so we will definitely have plenty of torpedoes to do that with. Okay, I think that's probably the build I will go with. If I find I'm struggling in the raid, then I may drop down, like I said, and put high velocity rounds on myself. Okay, and that's the only other option. And just to get the projectile speed of the cormorants up, and for no other reason than that. But as it stands at the moment, that's not going to be the case. I'm going to start like this with the ones with cormorants on. Okay, for the other holes then, it's going to be full damage now. We know that these don't achieve anything whatsoever. Okay, so we're going to take this off. Okay, and we're actually going to refit it. And we're going to refit it with the hyperscan system. Okay, and then we're going to go full damage now. Okay, these will be our full damage hull once I got the extra torpedoes. And because there is no countermeasures, I'm going to get rid of this mirror maze, okay? Okay, and actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that off completely, okay? And I got a funny feeling we've got another special. Yes, we've got this special here, which is the Iron Feather battery from the previous but 1 tier system, okay then. Why? Because it does concussive damage of 55%, which is a lot. Now, look at the difference when I add it. There we go, look, we're at 4.5 million damage. Okay, that's an awful lot. So the reason I've done for that is obviously that's an awful lot. I've added an extra 4 torpedoes, okay, but also up to the damage by 55%, okay, which is a huge amount. and that will get, obviously, that's going to kill these things off much faster. So if I have a couple of ships like this, maybe, okay, then I think that's going to give me a benefit, personally. That's my goal. So a couple of ships like that, I'm personally going to take this off as well. It's up to you, but for me, I think that's going to be my outcome. I think that's what I'm going to go with. So for now, I haven't got these extra torpedoes, so I'm going to clear this off. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, that's where I am at the moment until I get into the next event. Okay, there's plenty of time to build at the moment. We've got that extra week, so I don't need to speed these things up. But that's my goal, is to do that. Okay, for my full damage ships. Now there's another option. Okay, and I haven't quite got it there then, but I'm considering the flagship if it is coming out and it's got slightly more armor. Okay, and that will be quite straightforward, is an evade build. But bear in mind then, where we're standing at the moment then, the evade is at 59.2, and bear in mind you'll get a little bit more. Okay, then you'll get 10% of 59.2. Okay, once you've done U2 as well. But if I load up, there is an evade build you can mess around with. Okay, and here it is. Okay, and there are some torpedoes on there. Okay, and bear in mind, like I said, you'll get a little bit more, but there you go, 91.8%. Okay, then evade, and then you get a little bonus once you put on your evade crew, and you get a little bonus obviously for alliance, and you get a little bonus again obviously from this U2. That is an option. Okay, and should you wish to choose it, if the flagship is of benefit to you, and I'll prove why I think a high evade ship is worth it in a moment, because of the King Killer from obviously the Spectre subs. Movement for this one, by the way, is exactly the same. So it's 102 and 100. It's exactly the same as the other ships. So I've gone then with the D5E armors. Okay, and these are Z torps. Okay, but just find any torp that's got a bonus combat speed. You might have to add a couple of others, but there are other ones as well that do have combat bonus speeds. So if we just go torpedoes, look, first we come down to here. There are various ones, 5% from obviously the V torp and that sort of stuff. You know. Like I said, it's 5% as well from the Z torp, but there are various different torpedoes. So have a little look around. I can't remember which ones have it and which ones don't, but some of them do and some of them don't. Okay, that one's got turn speed actually, bonus, but you don't need it. I was messing around with various different torpedoes, and ultimately I think what I've gone for, which is the Zs, is because it's 6%, not 5%. It allows you to have 4 of the decent torpedoes on as well. Everything else then it's just the engine, okay, and everything, and obviously Guidance Scrambler 3, a couple of the D5E plates, like I said. I've still kept on some concussive, okay, to try and help, okay, then on the plates. Everything else is just evade upgrade. That is probably the highest you're going to get if you want to go for an evade build. Too early yet, but it's just an option. Right, last thing to look at then is go in there and take a little look now, obviously to try and see what these Spectres are like and see if the cormorants do work. Because then we'll know if we need more. I am going to put an evade crew on. There it is there. Okay, so we're only really interested on is basically how many of these incoming torpedoes we can actually counter with 8 cormorants and no extra projectile speed. So I'm going to clear up some of this rubbish first, okay, because I want to actually get around the back of here, take this ship out to prove that you don't need anything to protect yourself from that. So whilst I took out this first hull, okay, this one's got a sliver of help, but I'm going to completely ignore it. I shouldn't get seen by these, look. I can quite happily just sit here because this one will stop and turn around. This one will stop and turn around and go back up again. Had I killed him, I could have gone up here and taken this rhino out. You can actually get around the back of these things actually if you wanted to, especially if you're doing VXPing this weekend. So if you notice that the hull's going in, look, and you can sneak up through the side here if you've got an engine fitted. Even if you only got the one torpedo, you can get the rhinos out the way. And then you can actually come in the back and get these 2 out the way as well. So you can get all 4 of these ships, okay, and actually you can get the rhino out the way. So it is possible. Right, I've zoomed in. Let's take a look at this hull here. long as I keep away from that thermal range. So these are cav, this is thermal. Well, they actually call it something different now, but it's still thermal. So these rings bring you to the surface, which you'll see in a minute. But for now, I want to try and take out, you'll notice that if I just get a little bit closer, there we go. I haven't disturbed any of this here. But I'm going to in a second. This is the reason why I want to kill off those other ships, so that I don't get them tracking me either. So I'm going to go in towards the covering of these ships here, okay, and the Spectres, and I'm going to try and draw them down towards the south, okay. And we'll zoom in and see if we can see the countermeasures working. Okay, I'm up in the air. Okay, two torpedoes. This is a good option now to see. So how many am I managed to knock down? I knocked down the whole lot that time. I've only got 8 fitted. 2 torpedoes got through. So it looks like I'm knocking down everything bar 2. Now, actually, that wasn't so bad at all. So that sort of indicates to me, okay, then that actually the projectile speed isn't too bad at the moment. Okay, we're going to get a little bit of a bonus, obviously, when we upgrade. And 8 cormorants is okay. A couple of more would be better. So 10, maybe 12. I'm not going to play around with this one. I think what we'll do is we'll exit and we'll go and take a look at the damage. Okay. Okay, look, it's all on the first ship. Okay. Let's go to dock. Let's take a look at how much damage that is then. Okay, then. I did have all, okay, CT armors fitted. But it's only 21 seconds. So I killed off 2 of those submarines. I got 21 seconds damage. Now, let's not worry about the seconds of damage because they'll adjust the damage as the raid progresses, as they always do. Okay. The point is, none of the other ships got damaged. So there is definite king killer. Okay, then. So questionable. Let's wait and see what the flagship comes out like. And let's see if it's got greater armor points. Okay. And if it has got greater armor points, you could consider an evade build. Okay. So let's just fix that again. And that was our final question. So what we're going to do now is quickly, we'll just go through everything that we've covered. This one here, all I'm going to do is add another torpedo. And on here, then I'm just going to add, okay, this special here. Nothing else. That's all I've got to do. Look, a quick overnight build for that to finish that one off. Okay, and then the full damage ship, like I said, we're going to get rid of everything off of this one here. Okay, I am going to go full, okay, armor on here for anti-concussive, and then I'm going to kill these off then, and I'm just going to slap these on. And because I've gone all the way up then, I'm going to get rid of obviously the countermeasure special, and I'm going to get rid of the subaquatic because it did absolutely nothing for me. Okay, I'm going to nip across here and I'm going to go for Iron Feather. And like I said, the last ship basically, if okay you want to build an evade flagship, okay, then an idea at least, okay, you can play around with what you want to put on it, okay. If I load it, okay, and this could be an option, I just thought about something just then, literally, okay, you can see the Z-torps, okay, so what we can do actually, should you wish to, you could actually change that then and actually put on a cormorant there and a cormorant there, and actually to get that back up to speed, you could come down to here then, okay, and you could actually put on a Z-torp, okay, and another Z-torp, and that should get you back. So that is an option. If you wanted to go to 2 ships that are full damage, the 2 standard ships full damage, and if this is what you want to go for your, obviously your evade build, then for your flagship, if it's got the extra armor points, this would work, okay. You're still doing a little bit of damage, not a huge amount, but the fact that you've got 2 damaged ships then, 2 cormorant ships, and you've got 2 extra cormorants on here as well. That gives you 10 cormorants. So that could be an option. Actually, that's quite favourable, I think. So I may look at that myself. I'm not doing any evade builds yet until I see the flagship, though. I'm waiting, okay, to see the flagship. So it looks like I'm going 2 full damage, 2 with the cormorants on, and then the flagship will either be evade, okay, then, and if it's not, okay, it'll be another one the same as the cormorant build. And that's going to be my fleet. Okay. There we go. We have our answers. Thank you, Kicksai, for running the VXP targets again. We now know where to go. Okay, then if you've got anything different in the build I've got now, then just put the comment in the comments below and I'll answer any questions. If you've got any questions you want answering, obviously just add those as well, either on the Facebook page on TFC or actually in the comments below to this video. Hope that helps. TSM out.